Hi friends, welcome back. So we'll try to understand how will you answer this question. How do you determine the appropriate test data to use for your test? So what is a way we will be using this different mechanism to identify the right set of test data. Test data is very crucial to test any application. How will you put a right planning or right technique to bring the right test data for your test execution? The first one is you have to understand your requirements, specification, user stories. That is the number one stuff you should do. And the second one is the edge cases or boundary conditions by following various testing mechanism, testing techniques like boundary value analysis, equivalence partitioning, various mechanisms. You should also come up with the different test data to test your testing features. You should also look for realistic data, almost similar to the production, how people really use this in the real scenarios. You should also bring those perspective also in your test data. And fourth one is again we should put different combinations of test data by considering various numerical, text, date, boolean, so that we will be covering to ensure that your application still is able to take what it is supposed to take, not different thing, or you should not throw any exception, it should not throw any error messages if I am selecting a different data types altogether. Then the fifth one is again size of the data as well, by considering small data, medium data, large data. Maybe if I try to say I will add up a big large data, maybe 10-digit big number, it may fail. If I just select 6-digit number or 2-digit number, your application may work. Again, based on your requirement, we have to select all these different combinations to ensure that your application really works as expected. Then the sixth type of test data we should see is different forms. You should put the data in a different formats like CSV format, JSON format, Excel format, XML format. We should bring the test data from all this format and we should put into your application by testing by all this format. We wanted to see your application still behaves as expected. And the seventh one is again multiple languages. If it is supported, then you should bring the test data by considering different languages as well, like Chinese language, Hindi language, English language, Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam, Tamil. Like by looking different languages, we'll have a different set of data will be there. So we should include based on the kind of languages which you are going to test. And the eighth one is again, we just consider all possible scenarios. We should also consider the invalid data as well to cover as part of your test data, where you should cover all the negative parts, invalid data, so that that would also guarantee that your application is behaving as expected. Apart from that, we should also consider, while using the test data, we should also look for regulations of data sensitivity and data regulation, data protection of end users. Everything we should keep in mind while we are trying to adapt to pick the test data for your application.